And I am calling to order this special meeting of the Fargo Board of Education. The purpose of this very special meeting is to select our superintendent as part of our superintendent search candidate update here. I will look for approval of the agenda. Robin?
I move approval of the agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion from Robin and a second from Nimal. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
And Nikki, are you online?
She is, just needs to unmute.
Okay. Nikki, can you unmute? We're just looking for approval of the agenda from you two. Okay, well, motion passes any opposition? Same sign. Okay, motion passes 8-0. Item number 4 on our agenda here is review of the impression forms for the interview groups. Before we delve into these, I want to send out some gratitude to all who gave their time and energy to this process. Their insights provide valuable perspectives that will help us make a well-informed decision. I know that we have not had these forms for very long. I think it's about 12 hours that they've been available to you, but I really hope that you took time and read them thoroughly. We asked them to participate. We asked them for their input, and so I hope that you please include these insights in your decision-making process. I am going to turn this over to Anne Marie Campbell now, and she's going to lead us through some feedback on these.
Thank you, President Christensen-Meinier. In your packets before you for your meeting materials today, you have some of the items from our week together on this topic. Your green sheet is the participant listing of the folks that participated in the stakeholder interview groups. I am pleased to share with you that all of the folks that had planned to be in those interviews were able to make it this week. You know, sometimes life happens and something comes up, but everyone was able to participate. So you had your administration group, your community group, your support staff group, and your educator group, along with our cabinet group that met with them as well. So those are the folks that were able to spend some time with each candidate this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Also in your packets, you do have the questions that each interview group used and with their time with them. So those questions were asked, and they were able to ask some good follow-up questions based on the answers each candidate gave throughout the interview. And just to root your future discussion, you have your flyer that you had out on your superintendent search that include the quality and characteristics that you all are seeking in your next superintendent. And then, of course, the feedback on each candidate. Each group was able to give some feedback to you through those impression forms. So before you have a packet in each candidate. So just want to kind of go over what you have in front of you. If you have any questions about these items, happy to answer those for you. And if not, our cabinet members are able to share a little bit with you about each interview that happened today. As you remember, we had full days of interviews. You guys started off in the morning with a candidate for 2 full hours. And then from there, they went directly upstairs and met with a group of administrators. And so if there's no questions about the packet of materials you have, Bill will be able to speak to the time that he and I had with administrators and our candidates.
Thank you. Anne-Marie and I had the privilege to work with the administrators group that interviewed each candidate in the morning sessions. The members of this group represent elementary, middle, high school, and virtual academy administration, along with 2 directors from our district office. The team had a good interaction with each candidate and did a great job asking clarifying follow-up questions to give each candidate the opportunity to fully describe their thought process and leadership style. After each interview, the administrative team worked together in completing an impression form for each candidate, noting the strengths that they observed as well as any areas of growth or lingering questions they had. You have these impression forms in front of you along with the questions asked by this group. The administrators appreciated the opportunity to engage with each candidate and thank you for inviting them to be part of this final interview process.
Thank you, Bill.
So after administrators, the candidates had a little bit of time for lunch, and cabinet joined each candidate for that. We were able to take that time with them, have lunch, but also ask them some questions too to find out some things for our knowledge as well. And so Dr. McKenna, I think, is going to speak to that time that we had with the candidates.
Madam President, trustees, members of cabinet, I have the honor to represent our team in this share out. All members of the cabinet were able to engage in meaningful interactions with each candidate. We asked thoughtful questions, follow-up questions to ensure that each candidate had the opportunity to clearly and fully articulate their thought processes and their leadership style. Following each interview, we met as a cabinet to complete the impression form for each candidate, highlighting any strengths that we felt we saw with each candidate and any growth that we felt like we wanted to share with this team. You have the impression forms in front of you, along with questions that we had by this group. As a member of the cabinet, we really appreciated the opportunity to engage in this process and provide you some thoughts on our perspective of each candidate.
Thank you very much, Dr. McKenna. All right, and who's up next? Dr. Gross, or go ahead, Anne Marie.
After cabinet time with them, they headed on over to South High School for a community group. So Dr. Gross will share a bit about that.
Thank you very much. Jackie Gapp and I had a wonderful opportunity to be with our community group members. On your sheet that's in front of you, you can see they represented parents from different PTA, PTO groups, different leaders throughout our community, and formed a wonderful group of community members who were really invested in the process. Like the other groups, we had the opportunity to meet with them, ask very thoughtful questions. There were wonderful follow-up questions that they asked of each of the candidates. After we went through that process as a group, we too, as a group, came up with a set of strengths and opportunities or questions. They are provided for you in your packet. During the process, the community group almost every day, and at the end definitely thanked me and the board for being able to be part of that process. They are very invested in our community, very invested in this decision, and very hopeful in the continuing the collaborations that we have and expanding them in the future.
Great, thank you, Dr. Gross. All right, Anne Marie, who's next?
After our community group, our candidates met with a group of support staff members, or 8 support staff members from across our district. They were able to come together to ask some questions of each candidate, and I believe, Tara, you're going to share about that.
Dr. McKenna and I had the pleasure of supporting the support staff committee. The support staff committee included an excellent cross-section of our employees, including the individuals who ensure our students are fed, our buildings are secure, safe, clean, our systems are up and running, and that our children are supported throughout the day and safe. Together, they have an approximate collection of approximately 100 years of experience within the district. I think I speak for Dr. McKenna and myself when I say it was probably the highlight of our week. They were grateful for the experience and the opportunity to provide you feedback, as they're important members of our district and they serve as educators along with every single person within this district. They provided important feedback that's in the packets in front of you, and they thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Tara.
After support staff, at the end of their work days, a group of educators, 11 of them in total, were able to come together at Agassiz in the loft and have some time with each candidate. Again, that was a good cross-section of our educators from across our district, and I think Missy has some things to share from that group.
Yes, Bill and I were able to work with the educator group, and that is our group that is probably closest to the center of our work with our students each day. We did have members from elementary or early childhood through high school that we're working with on this committee. I will say, again, very thankful to be a part of it. And I'm also, Bill and I are thankful to get to know another group of teachers that we had not met before in some cases. With the interview questions, They were very intense of listening and doing follow-up questions. I will say that at the end, when the candidates asked questions, that even the intensity grew of kind of a back and forth to really clarify. So the group really wanted to make sure they understood what each candidate had to offer, their strengths and areas of growth, and that is documented on your impression sheet.
Thank you very much. And Anne Marie, do you have any concluding thoughts for us?
You know, you don't have any information in your packets from this experience, but after they concluded with our educator group, our candidates we offered a time for media representatives to come and ask questions. Robin Huebner from the forum was able to come each day, but also we invited our student newspapers to come, and our students did show up and ask some excellent candidates questions of the candidates, and they asked some hard questions. It was really fun to see how they researched each candidate, them as a person and where they were coming from, and they asked some hard-hitting questions. So that was a really great experience to watch, and it gave our candidates an experience to see what they might be coming into as far as our students, but also our time with our media here. So that kind of is the conclusion of their days here, of going from interview group to interview group. And so you have that information in those reflection forms. And if you guys do have any questions, we'd be able to answer those for you.
Okay, do we have any questions on the impression forms? Okay, we're moving on to item 5, which is to complete the forced matrix. Before we delve into this, I want to acknowledge again that this search has been very, very extensive, and at times maybe even a little exhausting. I encourage you to rely on the information that we have learned through each step of the process. I ask that you ground your decisions in what we decided on as a board that we are seeking out in a superintendent. This is sitting right here in front of you that, remember, please, that as a board, we decided that this is what we want. So I ask you to please use the information we've gathered and root it in these items here when you make your decision. I also want to point out on the force matrix, if you take a look at your forms here, just want to make sure everybody knows what they're doing. The names are, we've got 3 different pockets. You can see the 3 different colors there, and you are going to circle whoever your first place choice is between those 2 people. So you should circle 1 red name, 1 green name, and 1 blue name. Do we have any questions about that? Okay, Dan or Anne Marie, do either of you want to say anything else before we dive into this?
Madam President, members of the board and cabinet, it's just been an absolute honor. So I believe we'll have time toward the end as well, but just appreciate the thoughtfulness and comprehensiveness that you've put into this. So definitely commend you for your work, your thoughtfulness and intentionality, and look forward to continuing to support you.
Okay, wonderful. So go ahead and fill out your forms, and then Anne Marie and Dan, will you come around and collect those? Okay.
Yeah, when everybody's done, I'll come around and pick those up, and then Dan and I will work to score those, and then we'll hand them back out to you completed and with information back on what the forced matrix completion is.
Okay, thank you.
And just for the record, Nikki is on and able to hear, so. And she has sent me her completed sheet.
Okay, and so would you like me or would you like Dan to, do you want to read the results back to us? Go ahead.
Madam President, member of the boards, I'm proud to announce the information that you have shared with me in terms of the rankings. You should have the information directly in front of you, but your first ranked candidate is Mr. Steiner with 15 points. Your second place candidate is Robert Leck with 9 points. And your third candidate is Vincent Williams. With that, I will turn it over to the board chair.
Okay, thank you very much. So at this point in time, we can have discussion or we can look for a motion. Ally?
I move to extend an offer to Dr. Corey Steiner.
Second. Okay, so we have a motion from Ally and a second from Kristen, is that right? Okay, and so we are now open for discussion. Do we have any discussion or questions on this? Go ahead, Greg.
In the actual matrix where it shows board member, do we have access to that filled out thing?
So I think, actually, at this point in time, I don't know, do we feel like that's important for right now for this discussion?
So I did some math last night, and I just want to verify there's a potential outcome that could happen, and I just want to make sure it didn't. It's theoretically possible that 5 board members' first choices could fail. And I'm just wondering if that outcome happened.
So I think at this point in time, I don't think that would impact the outcome of today's vote. Like, the purpose of this matrix was to show us overall where the board was leaning. So I think that's information we could probably get later, just if we want, for curiosity's sake, but I don't think that has an impact on what we're doing today.
It might have an impact on my choice.
Okay, but we have a motion on the floor right now, and the motion is to extend an offer to Dr. Corey Steiner.
And I am requesting information in order to inform my vote. I mean, the last 2 times we've done this, we have received that information. So I honestly kind of expected to see it.
Dan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank
All
you.
right.
I appreciate the consistency in the process.
Okay. We do value process. Okay.
We do.
Thank you. Any other discussion or questions? Okay, Anne Marie, will you call the roll, please?
Berkland,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Day,
Yes.
Gullickson,
Yes.
Jason Nelson,
Yes.
Kristen Nelson,
Yes.
Robin Nelson,
Yes.
Olenberger,
Yes.
Christensen Meinier.
Yes. Motion passes 9-0. And with that, I am very excited and proud to announce that as a board, we have selected Dr. Corey Steiner as our next superintendent. Everybody take a deep breath. Yeah. Here we are. We made it. Yes, okay, wonderful. So I believe, Dan, you will be reaching out and making a phone call to Dr. Steiner. We are going to be moving into an executive session for the purpose of negotiations strategy. I am personally okay with everybody up here at the dais staying in the room for that conversation. Unfortunately, the rest of you will, I'll have to leave the room once we have that motion. Are we ready for that?
I am ready if you are.
Okay, so I will look for a motion to go into negotiations.
I move that we move to an executive session as permitted under NDCC 44-04-19.1 for the purpose of negotiating contract negotiations.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion from Ally and a second from Robin. Any discussion? No? Okay, Anne Marie, can you call the roll, please?
Clark,
Yes.
Day,
Yes.
Gullickson,
Yes.
Jason Nelson,
Yes.
Kristen Nelson,
Yes.
Robin Nelson,
Yes.
Ollenberger,
Yes.
Berkland,
Yes.
Christensen, Meinier.
Yes. Motion passes 9-0. Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you for being here. I'm sorry you have to leave. everyone. We are excited to announce that Dr. Steiner has accepted the offer. We had a brief conversation with him, and he seemed really delighted and very excited to step into this role. Over the course of the next few days, we will be issuing a contract to him, and once he signs that and brings it back to us, we will be approving it at our March 11th meeting. So this was, I cannot even, there are no words to express my gratitude for everyone who's been involved in this process. It was a haul. There's really no doubt about that. Huge shout out to Anne Marie Campbell for being like the most organized person and getting us to this place. And I can honestly say this is the most relieved and excited I have felt in a long time. I'm excited for the future of our district. And with that, it is now 9:45 a.m. and this meeting is adjourned.